Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Vickie's Country Home. Today I had an unplanned haul from the grocery store. I stopped on my way home from work and found that they had chicken leg quarters and drumsticks on sale, 99 cents a pound. For us, that is a very good price. So I picked up 3 packages of each, and I'm going to be freezing the quarters, and we use those for dinner, but I will be canning the chicken drumsticks. So I'm going to bring y'all along and show you what I'm doing. Today I am going to be canning these chicken drumsticks that I got. I went ahead and froze the chicken leg quarters because we'll use those in meals. But I have heard so much about canning the whole drumsticks. I've canned chunks, big chunks of chicken, I've canned small chunks, I've raw packed, and I've packed par cooked. And I love all of them, but this one makes a lot of sense to me because it's almost like having your own bone broth along with the chicken for soup or casseroles, whatever you're making. So I decided I'm going to raw pack, but I am going to add just a little bit of beef stock from Better Than Bouillon. I'm not going to fill the jar because these are going to give off their own juice as they cook in the pressure cooker, and they have to be pressure cooked. So I'm just going to add a little bit for the flavor, but I'm not going to put a lot. So let's get started. I think I have about 35 chicken drumsticks, and I don't want to stuff the jars too much because we need the liquid to be able to circulate. So I'm just going to start putting some down in the bottom, and we'll see how many I get to a jar. And this is skin on. And I kind of want the skin to be the outside. It just looks better, I think. And there's a lot of good videos out there about this. Sutton's Days, there's Linda's Pantry, there's a number of them, so I'm not doing anything new, but some of you may not have seen them before, so I figured I'd go ahead and give it a try. Now, I think 4 in that jar is as many as I want to try and get. So we'll see how they go. Some may get more than others, but I don't want to overstuff them. And I thought about adding some seasonings, and I decided, depending on how I use it, I may not use the same seasonings and everything. So all I'm going to add as far as seasonings is some granulated garlic, because pretty much anything that I make is going to have that. Well, that one took 5. So we'll just see how they all go. So I'm going to get these all stuffed in the jars, and then I'll bring you back and show you when I've got them all in there, and we'll see how many jars I get. Out of the 3 packages, family size chicken legs there were actually 40. They're hard to count when they've got labels on top. So I have 7 quarts here, which is what's going to fit in my canner. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 7, but I may be going back for more and maybe do the chicken thighs this time. I'm not sure. But for right now, I'm going to can the 7 quarts. So I'm just going to put in about 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic in each. Because like I said, anything I make with chicken is going to have garlic. So it's not going to hurt to have this in there. Some of the other seasonings might not go well with what I decide to use. And then, like I said, I'm just going to put a little of the chicken stock in there. And I don't know if you can see or not. It's kind of working its way down. But that's about all I'm going to put. Now let's debubble. You really want to debubble this well because there's a lot in this jar. Okay, I'm happy with that, so I'm going to set that one aside while I do the rest. Okay, I'm really excited. I think these are going to be so good. And it just made sense to me. And I'm going to try and press the skins down wherever they've kind of been pushed up. It doesn't really matter, but it does make them look nicer. That one could use just a touch more. Alright, I'm going to finish getting the broth in these jars and get them debubbled. And then I'm going to be using Tattler lids today, so I'll come back and show you how I do that. Okay, I've got all of the chicken legs in the jars. I've got some granulated garlic and some chicken stock. And I've debubbled them as best that I can. And now I have a cloth that I've dipped in vinegar because I really want to get the tops of these jars cleaned off. I don't want to take any chances on something causing them not to seal. So I'm going to go over them once, and all you need is the rim. If you haven't canned before, you don't need to worry about the threads and everything else. All you need to worry about is the actual rim. So I've got a fresh corner, dip it in vinegar, and I'm going to go back and do it again just to make sure, because we want to make sure that these seal with the great seal. Okay. And now, as I said, I'm going to be using Tattlers, and I've got them in a pan of hot water. And I'm going to put it on. You get these just finger tight, and then you back off just a touch. You don't want them too tight, because Tattlers work a little bit different than regular flat lids. So put the lid and ring on, the gasket, put the ring just finger tight, and then back off just a touch. They're not difficult to use, but they are different. So if you're not used to it and you're used to using the flat lids, it can be kind of scary. But I have had very good luck with them. I've had very few jars that didn't seal right from the beginning. Now, I will say that there are counterfeit Tattlers out there, and they've been a real problem because you don't know which are real, which aren't. I would say if there's any doubt in your mind, order them from Tattler or someone you really trust, just to make sure that you get the real ones, because they're not inexpensive, but considering how many times you can use these, they're so worth the money. And they're not a throwaway like the flat lids, although I find uses for them. But you do need to make sure it's on there evenly. That one was giving me a little trouble. I'm going to put these in the canner now. These are cold, so the canner is cold and the water is cold in the canner. So I'm going to put them in just like that. And I'm going to put this little bit of vinegar in there to keep the jars from getting cloudy looking. I have all 7 quart jars in the canner. I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to bring it up till it steams for 10 minutes solid. And once it does that, I'll put the weight on, and for my altitude, which is over 5,000 feet, I'm going to put the 15-pound weight on and process quarts for 75 minutes. So I'm going to get this going. I'll bring you back when they're all finished. Well, here we are. There are 7 quarts that turned out beautiful, and they didn't overfill, which is the biggest worry I had. So filling them just under halfway with the chicken stock still left room at the top, and none of them evacuated, and they've all sealed. Now when you take a Tattler lid out of the canner, and I'm sorry, my camera's doing all kinds of weird stuff. When you take your Tattler lids out of the canner, you immediately crank as tight as, you don't over tighten it, but you want it tight. You want to tighten the ring completely. And that is part of the sealing process with Tattlers. So all of these, you can see that they have gone down. So they're all sealed. And we will leave these sitting here until tomorrow, until they're completely cooled, and then I'll take the rings off and double check. But it looks like they've all completely sealed. So this was a success, and I'm very happy with it. I am going to send Brian to the grocery store on his way home tonight and have him pick up some more at that price so that I can can some more. I may do chicken thighs, but I'm very happy with this. So I thank you for coming along for the ride. I thank you for stopping by. And if you enjoyed it, please give me thumbs up, subscribe, or share. And as always, thank you for watching, and we will talk again soon.